The views and opinions on this show do not necessarily reflect the views of ESPN Tucson 1490 AM, 94.9 HD Channel 4, or the Arizona Lotus Corporation.
Welcome to Spears and Ali on ESPN Tucson.
Justin Spears, I like that.
With Justin Spears and Ali Farhang on 1490 AM, 94.9 HD Channel 4, ESPN Tucson. Brought to you by Tucson Federal Credit Union, the Volpe team at Nova Home Loans, and Rightway Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
I want to be entertaining, but I'm not stupid enough to compare myself to Ali.
Well, first round of the NFL draft is officially in the books, and Tetaroa McMillan is going to the Carolina Panthers. We're going to be talking a lot of NFL draft and T-Mac going to Carolina and what this means for him on today's episode of Spears and Ali from 7 to 9 a.m. We appreciate you guys for listening to us live on the ESPN Tucson mobile app, espntucson.com, 1490 a.m. and 94.9 HD Channel 4. And we appreciate all of our amazing supporters on YouTube. And if you haven't yet, go to YouTube, search Spears and Ali, and subscribe to our channel today. And on that channel, you can find our full interview with Arizona men's basketball coach Tommy Lloyd and Midland lead singer Mark Weistrack, who is in town this week for the big concert later on this evening at Tucson Arena.
Yeah, tonight,
man.
Tonight, get your tickets, go to the show, sell that sucker out. Show some love to one of our own.
Do it for Mark.
And,
Do it for Tommy.
And they do a really good show. And Tommy, if you want to see Tommy Lloyd get on the stage and sing something very badly, tonight's your night.
T-Town Tommy.
T-Town Tommy.
Making his debut.
Singing the Red and Blues, baby.
What does that mean?
What?
Singing the Red and Blues?
Yeah.
Instead of singing the blues.
Oh.
Singing the Red and Blues.
Gotcha. Oh, I love it.
Yeah. That's what it means.
I love talking about France.
No.
Okay.
No.
But yeah, T-Town Tommy will be making
not France
his debut.
or Armenia. Yeah, neither of those.
But yeah, Tommy Lloyd and Mark Weistrack will be on the stage tonight at Tucson Arena at 7:30. But yeah, we had a great interview with those two guys. Check it out on YouTube. Check it out on the Spears and Ali podcast platforms. But yeah, we're going to be talking a lot of NFL draft today. We're going to talk to our guy, Michael Lev, senior writer and columnist from the Arizona Daily Star, coming up here at 7:40. And since today is Friday, we're going to have a Freak Out Friday segment, talk about some things that are either just agitating us or things that are like, whoa, that's pretty damn cool.
Both ways.
Freak Out Friday goes both ways.
It could be a good whoa, could be a bad whoa. I got something good for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
That's coming up here in the next segment. So at 7:25.
I'm not doing it then.
We're doing
it at 8 o'clock.
Our Freak Out Friday.
I'm doing it at 8 o'clock.
But yeah. And then we're also going to talk to Saul Bookman from All City Network about the NFL draft, also some NBA playoffs. And then at 8:40, Arizona baseball, they are on the road this week, but Mason White, Tucson's very own, who is one of the best home run hitters in Arizona baseball history. He was just named Big 12 Player of the Week, and he'll be calling in at 8:40. So
super.
Yeah, can't wait to talk to Mason White about his career and the big season that he's having for the Cats. Also, huge thanks to our great sponsors, the Volpe team at Nova Home Loans, Rightway Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, and Tucson Federal Credit Union. I know those are three sponsors, but in my opinion, all worthy of a number one overall pick.
Oh, yeah. You don't trade away. You don't trade down.
You don't do
when you're on the
You don't pull a Cleveland
when you're on the clock and they're available. You do not trade down or trade away from that pick. You take the sure thing.
Absolutely.
That's Rightway Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. The Volpe team at Nova Home Loans and Tucson Federal Credit Union. Better in a bank, better in your bank.
Last night we saw the first round of the NFL draft at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Yeah,
and man, a lot of people there. I mean, Green Bay showed out for the NFL draft. And one of my favorite moments was when Texas wide receiver Matthew Golden was chosen by the Green Bay Packers. I think it's cool that the NFL moves around like city to city rather than just having it at New York. I think it's cool that they go to all these different NFL locations. And to see that moment with Matthew Golden coming out and celebrating with the thousands and thousands of Green Bay Packers fans, I thought that was really cool. And it was really cool to see our guy, Arizona wide receiver Tetaroa McMillan, go number 8 overall to the Carolina Panthers. And T-Mac made history last night. T-Mac is the highest drafted offensive player to ever come out of the University of Arizona. He is the 5th top 10 pick in program history, the first one this century. The last time Arizona produced a top 10 pick was Anthony Smith in 1990, the linebacker who went to the New England Patriots. And so T-Mac, several years later, making history. He's the first ever Arizona wide receiver to land inside the first round. And for the Arizona football program, it was cool to see them watching the NFL draft at Corbett's last night. They had a watch party to support T-Mac.
Awesome.
And with Jordan Morgan going number 25 to the Green Bay Packers last year, and then T-Mac going number 8 to the Carolina Panthers this year, it's the first time that Arizona has produced first-round picks in back-to-back drafts since 1999 and 2000. So
wow.
It was a very historic night for the Arizona Wildcats, and Tetairoa McMillan certainly making history for himself. And, I was curious where T-Mac was going to go because, right there with that number 2 overall pick, we already saw a trade. Cleveland traded back, and Travis Hunter goes to the Jacksonville Jaguars, and then the Cleveland Browns ended up choosing Mason Graham, who was T-Mac's teammate in high school at Anaheim Servite. But I was like, oh, man, our team's going to be making a bunch of trades, and will these trades maybe push Tetairoa McMillan down the board? And then the Carolina Panthers, they have that number 8 overall pick, and Dave Canales, their head coach, it was right there in front of us this whole time, Ali.
Yep.
He's from Los Angeles. He's got Southern California ties, and he is a wide receivers coach, or he's a wide receivers coach by trade. Right now he's a head coach, but he comes from a receivers background. And when they continued to watch T-Mac's film, they said he was just too good to turn down. And they actually took phone calls to maybe trade the number 8 overall pick. And they took the phone calls, they heard teams out, but at the end of the day, T-Mac was their guy. They had their sights set on T-Mac for a while now, and they didn't overthink it. They were just like, this is our guy. Even though the Panthers drafted Xavier Legette last year, the first-round pick from South Carolina, they wanted to bolster their wide receiver room. They needed a defensive player, but adding a T-Mac and pairing him up with Adam Thielen, pairing him up with Xavier Legette, they have some other nice pieces there in that receiver room. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Now, you do need to protect Bryce Young, and Bryce Young was also benched last year for Andy Dalton. So it's not like Bryce Young is this great quarterback, but he is young, he is learning, and now he's got all the weapons in the world in this Carolina offense.
I mean, all Wildcat fans hope the flashes Bryce Young showed when he got inserted back into the lineup. Now, you remember, it only happened because Andy Dalton got in a car accident.
That's true.
But Bryce Young came back in after sitting a few games and kind of, I think, clearing his head. And he showed flashes of being that guy that was worthy of the number 1 overall pick in the draft. So now all Wildcat fans are basically like, we're hoping that Bryce Young takes that next step because T-Mac is dependent on his quarterback. T-Mac is dependent on that offensive line. I think you see Carolina go offensive line in the second round. Did they double dip in Arizona? Jonas Savianea?
Oh, man.
Right? So it's going to be really interesting to see where Bryce Young is this year. But now he's got a real weapon in T-Mac. And, Charlotte's a cool city. I've been to that stadium. I like that town. It's a good environment, good town. Did he go to the right organization? That's to be determined. Yeah. And again, for me, it would have been great if the Chargers selected him. They ended up cuckolding Najee Harris by taking another running back, but we'll get to that later. But Amari and Hampton is a great running back. So you guys, your running back room is stacked. Jim Harbaugh, man, you know what he wants to do. He wants to play defense and run the ball.
Yep.
You just have to happen to have a really good quarterback too. So I think T-Mac is, got 8th overall. Awesome. Congratulations. He wore purple because it's his favorite color, not because some sort of homage to the University of Washington and Jedd Fish. So shut your mouth, Amber Fish. That's not what happens. So you're stupid.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you're not here anymore. You should have entered a transfer portal as soon as Jedd went to Washington. And, and you're going to get into this later in the show. Jedd Fish trying to take credit for he only worked hard under me and then trying to kind of walk it back with some sort of political George Reister interview. Like I was like, kind of like, just, the Jedd Fish thing is over, but you are such a con man and you suck. You suck. And there's no reason to, like, you're taking credit for things. It's not about you.
Yeah.
It's not about you. It's about this young man, his journey, and getting selected 8th overall in the NFL draft. And yet you still have to center the whole thing around yourself.
When the funny thing about
he knows him.
Well, and the funny thing about
Yeah.
Amber's comments was that it was on the Arizona football team accounts page, like the Instagram page with T-Mac walking across the stage or looking, nice in his purple. And she was like, "Oh, and he's wearing purple."
Yeah.
With the purple heart emojis. And I was like, she didn't mention anything about Washington, but that's how I'm interpreting it.
Well, how could you not?
And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I was like, you could think that, you could say it out loud, but to actually type it out and hit send
on the
Arizona football page.
Yeah.
While it's raining outside. Crazy stuff.
Yeah.
So I was like, come on, what are we doing here, Fish family? All right, coming up, we're not coming up next. We got some phone calls here that we're going to take. I think Stu is joining us on line 1. What's going on, Stu?
Sure didn't get picked, did he?
Huh?
Sure didn't get picked, did he? Sure Sanders.
Oh.
All I heard.
Yeah.
Sure
No, he
didn't.
didn't.
What, Shador?
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta love it.
Why?
Gotta love it.
I love that.
Humble the young man a little bit.
You know,
where does he
I
go?
would rather bring back the ghost of Billy Kilmer than to pick Sanders.
Oh no, that's so disrespectful. Shador is a solid quarterback, and here's why I think he didn't go in the first round. A lot of people just don't want to deal with the whole Sanders connection, and whatever team drafts him, they're willing to deal with is Dion going to be the next head coach somewhere down the road? I think Shador is a solid quarterback. To me, he kind of reminds me a little bit of Geno Smith. Like, I think he's a pretty accurate passer. He's not like the greatest athlete in the world, but I think he's a solid NFL quarterback. And he had great weapons at Colorado. He definitely took a lot of hits. The offensive line protection wasn't so good in his couple years at Colorado, but I think Shador Sanders, when it's all said and done, he's going to be a solid NFL quarterback. But yeah, I was interested to see if he was going to go in that first round last night. And we set the over under at 2.5 quarterbacks taken in that first round, and the under hit. It was only Jackson Dart went to the New York Giants. And then of course the number 1 overall pick was Cam Ward. Shador's not going to be sitting around long. He will be an early second round pick.
I would rather see him mid-second, beginning third.
Yeah.
Stu, that's probably where he's going, buddy.
Thanks for calling in, man.
Thank you.
Seattle got a great pick.
Who? Seattle?
Seattle.
Yeah.
That kid from North Dakota State.
Oh,
Yeah.
He's a monster.
Guard.
He's a monster.
Yeah.
Disabled.
305.
Yeah, he was destroying people at the Senior Bowl. And I agree. Seattle picked a good guy.
Yeah. If you an offensive lineman from North Dakota State, I feel like is a pretty safe pick in the NFL draft. Those guys are monsters. But Stu, thank you for calling in, brother. Always appreciate your calls, man. Happy Friday, man. Have a good weekend.
Later.
But going back to T-Mac, there was so much smoke around where he would land in the NFL draft. I thought maybe number 5 overall, Liam Cohen. Would he pull the trigger on him, kind of, turning him into the next Mike Evans and pairing him up with Brian Thomas Jr.? But, they made that trade, got the guy, Travis Hunter, who could be the best prospect in this draft. And then as we got to the number 8 overall pick, I was like, man, would the Panthers do it? Will they do it? And sure enough, they did. And honestly, I'm happy for T-Mac.
Like you said, it was staring us right in the face. It was right there. And we got breaking news. Let's see what's happening.
No. Well, it's kind of related to what we were talking about. Round 2 NFL mock draft push alert. Where will Shador Sanders land?
Yeah. Well, if Cleveland doesn't take him at 33 or 36, because I think those are the 2 picks they have early in the second round. I don't know. I'm thinking there's a sneaking suspicion. Shador Sanders end up with the Cowboys.
Wouldn't surprise me.
I mean, doesn't it feel right?
That's just the perfect storm.
Yeah. This just feels right. Anyway, I don't know. But man, I got nothing against the young man. I think that I don't know if he was a first-round quarterback. I don't know if Jackson Dart was a first-round quarterback. New York Giants trading back up into the first round to get Jackson Dart. Brian Dable, their head coach, he's a pretty good quarterback guy, so he knows more than I do. But I just think that this year, the quarterback class, even Cam Ward, you're reaching a little bit because they are quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. These are all things we're going to know a little bit more with more certainty in about 2 years.
You bring up the Dallas Cowboys earlier, and Micah Parsons, the Dallas Cowboys star linebacker, he was sitting in on Bleacher Report's live NFL draft show on YouTube, and he actually reacted to the Carolina Panthers taking Tetairoa McMillan, number 8 overall. Listen to this.
8th pick, the Carolina Panthers and GM Dan Morgan are selecting. I am shocked. Tetairoa McMillan, the wide receiver.
I knew they were going to take him.
Who did you think it was going to be? You thought it was going to be Jalen Walker?
No, that was supposed to be our pick. That's what they wanted.
How you feeling right now?
I'm hurt. You'll be all right, bro. You'll be all right. He was supposed to be opposite of CD Lamb. Well, you got to find somebody else. I'm sorry, brother. You got to find somebody else.
Shout out to Big Jack on Twitter who said Panthers just passed the Cowgirls up in the standings.
Good work, Big Jack. Yeah, I guess.
But yeah, Micah Parsons was very, very upset that the Carolina Panthers stole T-Mac away from the Dallas Cowboys.
He would have gone 12th to Dallas. So I think if he didn't go to 8 to Carolina, then that's would have been his landing spot. And frankly, as much fun as I make of the Cowboys and as much distaste as I have for that organization, especially at the top with Jerry Jones, who, again, promised a big trade and nothing happened.
You got offensive lineman, though.
Well, the guy they got, Booker,
I like him.
The guard from Alabama, he is unanimously one of the top quality human beings, character guys. So that's going to be interesting in Dallas because that's not necessary.
Usually, sometimes they don't get those kind of guys. But yeah. I like what he said about it's kind of like similar to John Gruden when he was like, I'm not into dreams, man. I'm in the nightmares. Booker talked about, he's like, you know what I love? The joy that I get out of playing football is seeing the joy leave my opponent's body when I'm playing against them. Because, football is a child's game, and, you train, you practice, you have fun while you're playing it. And nothing gives me more joy than seeing that joy leave that person's body play after play, quarter after quarter when I'm leaving them. And eventually when I'm beating them, and eventually in that fourth quarter, I just look at them and they don't want to play football anymore.
He's a Schadenfreude guy, huh?
Yes, Schadenfreude.
I guess I am too, because he's speaking my language.
Yeah.
I mean, I still have dreams of, there's a sound a quarterback makes when the air's leaving their body when you hit them really, really hard. I had a couple of those. Yeah, it's the best. It's the best.
Did you wake up at night thinking about that?
It's been a minute since I've been to the barbershop. But for those of you that go, the best part of it is when they take the straight edge razor on your neck, right? And that's like the final thing, and they shave like the hairs off your neck. That sensation times 10 is what it feels like to hit a quarterback really, really hard and feel the air leave their body. And the sound, I can't even emulate the sound, but it is the only word that comes to mind is delicious.
See, Tyler Booker loves himself a good pancake block.
Yeah, as the interior
offensive lineman. But you know what? My favorite part about last night in T-Mac going to the Carolina Panthers is like I had a vision, like I could see the future 20 years down the road, and T-Mac is getting inducted into the Carolina Panthers Ring of Honor, and he has smashed all of Steve Smith Sr.'s records.
Yeah, was this
that to me? He was like, oh my gosh, Steve Smith Sr. spent this entire offseason just crapping on T-Mac and his ability as a wide receiver, and then the Panthers took T-Mac, and I'm like, T-Mac, please become a Hall of Famer and just break this dude's freaking records. It would be amazing. And someone pointed this out. They were like, maybe Steve Smith Sr. was like a double agent. Maybe he spread all these rumors so then everyone can back off of T-Mac and then the Panthers could have him. And I was starting to believe that theory. And then Steve Smith Sr. pretty much doubled down on his take.
You can just call him Steve Smith.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We don't need to call the senior. It's like, okay,
we know he had sex.
Congratulations, he had sex.
Yeah. Good job, man.
That's what someone said about, I think, Vernon Davis, senior.
You have sex with an ego because you named your son the same thing as your name. So yeah. But I can't wait for that interview. It's like it's going to be the same as that husband who he was sleeping with his wife and asked him to account for himself as to why he would sleep with a married woman. And it's Steve Smith. This is what you said about T-Mac. He's about to break your record. You have any comment? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
It would be poetic.
Please, T-Mac, break all of his records, man.
It would be awesome.
Disparaged him every step of the way. And Steve Smith was not a big fan of the pick. He made sure he let that be known on Twitter last night.
Cool.
It's like, T-Mac, do your thing, bro.
Cool. You just keep wearing those tank tops, your fake glasses that are not prescription, but you just do it for style, and your flat billed hat that makes you look like a 12-year-old. You keep doing you, Steve Smith, because you're a clown. And maybe, just maybe, you could find a friend in Jet Fish because you guys are both con men. So,
oh man,
you guys, why don't you go hang out? We're purple, Steve Smith.
Yeah.
All right, coming up next on Spears and Ali, we've got our Freak Out Friday segment. We're going to talk about some things that are either agitating us or things that are just so damn cool. We got to make note of it. We're going to do that. Plus, we're also taking your phone calls. Hit us up at 719-1490, 719-1490. And since today is Friday, April 25th, today is our very last day for our Pay Your Bills contest, courtesy of O'Reilly Chevrolet. So today is the last day for you to have a chance to win $2,025. All you got to do is listen during the commercial breaks this hour and also next hour and all throughout the day up until 5 p.m. So you got a couple more opportunities to get $2,000. Make sure you listen up during the commercial break. Stick around. We got more Spears and Ali coming up next. Spears and Ali back on ESPN Tucson, 1490 AM, the Spears and Ali podcast and our Spears and Ali YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe to our channel today. Last night, we had the NFL draft first round. One Wildcat was selected, Tetaroa McMillan, going number 8 overall to the Carolina Panthers. What do you think about the Panthers taking T-Mac? And what do you think about T-Mac's NFL future? Hit us up at 719-1490, 719-1490. Today's Friday. Time to have a Freak Out Friday segment. Talk about some things that are either just pissing us off or some things that are like, whoa, that's pretty damn cool. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, floor is yours.
Well, several months ago, maybe a year or two ago, I decided to, come to work wearing Crocs.
Yeah.
And I got absolutely scolded. And rightfully so, right?
This is going to make the 8 o'clock hour so much better that you're doing this.
They are they're very comfortable, very easy to wear. And listen, man, I was in a rush, so I decided to slip on some Crocs and Ali.
It wasn't one time, Justin.
It was a few times.
It was every time. You just come in wearing Crocs.
And if you notice, our YouTube channel just noticed this, but Ali just up and down me to make sure I was wearing shoes. He checked my feet to see if I was wearing the Crocs, and I almost did it. I almost wore the Crocs to make a statement because I'm like, listen,
make a statement.
when Ashton Jeanty wears Crocs to the NFL draft, it's a fashion statement. But when I do it, it's a problem. But you guys are like, no. Ashton Jeanty, he shouldn't have wore Crocs.
I totally agree. He shouldn't have worn Crocs. Also, his Crocs were diamond studded.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, okay, so you're making some sort of fashion statement, but no, man, you're getting drafted in the NFL draft in the top 10. You get number 6 overall to the Raiders. Yeah, don't wear Crocs.
I could care less about the event. It's the Crocs themselves.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come on. Ashton and Justin, you're both wrong.
Come on. Crocs are cool, man.
He should never have even been in the running for the Heisman.
Crocs are cool. Yeah. Crocs are cool when you go to the Great Wolf Lodge with your kids and they're going down slides and you're sitting there by the pool.
I don't think that place exists.
It does.
Does it?
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, it's not bad. Except for all the bacteria and
I was gonna say, except for the parasites.
Kids,
in the water.
the parasites in the water and all that. The slides are cool. But yeah, I mean that's there's a time and place for everything. Yeah, they're cool. Yes, there's one that just drops you like the chute, whatever it's called. It's exhilarating. Yeah.
Like hitting a quarterback.
Not that good. Not that good. Not that good, baby. Oh, yeah. Now you speak my language. Yeah. So no, I mean, I know what you're trying to do here, Justin, but you're not doing it. It's
oh man,
you're still in the wrong. And continue living a good life, a good clean life, and stop wearing Crocs in a professional setting,
in a place of business.
Yeah.
Another Freak Out Friday, which I thought was kind of interesting, is AFC North teams not named Cleveland. So Cleveland traded down in the draft, and they could have had Travis Hunter, but instead they got Mason Graham, who I think is going to be a stud. I think Mason Graham is one of the most dominant interior defensive linemen you could pick up in this draft, and he's going to be a rock solid NFL player. I can't wait to watch what he does. But man, I got to say, the Pittsburgh Steelers, I love that pick. Derek Harmon at number 21 overall. I mean, a lot of people thought maybe the Steelers would go the quarterback route, maybe Shedeur Sanders, maybe Jackson Dart, but instead they get Derek Harmon, who I think is probably the second best defensive lineman outside of Abdul Carter, maybe even right alongside Mason Graham. So I love Derek Harmon. I viewed him as like a top 15, maybe a top 12 pick, and he falls all the way to number 21 to the Pittsburgh Steelers. My guy, Ali, you better be feeling very happy about this pick.
I mean, it's funny that like every year I'm like, this is who I think they're taking, and I'm usually not right. And this year I'm like, Derek Harmon. It's got to be Derek Harmon. Do the right thing. Get Derek Harmon. It could be the next Cam Hayward. But I was so confused about this offseason with the Steelers. So I'm like, they could take Shedeur Sanders, Jalen Milroe. He's at the draft. Have the Steelers given him a promise? I mean, God, don't do that. Please just pick the right guy. They picked the right guy. This is the guy I wanted. I think he's going to be a 12, 13-year player for the Steelers. And I found it very endearing and touching that as soon as he got the call from Mike Tomlin, he went to the hospital. His mom is on life support right now.
Oh, man.
And he just wanted to tell his mom that, hey, your son just got drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers. So
Tomlin did or the kid did?
Derek Harmon, yeah.
Okay.
So the kid, yeah. So as soon as he got the call, very emotional, and then he ran to the hospital to let his mom know. And it's, just a very terrible, sad situation.
So he wasn't at the draft.
He was not at the draft.
No, he was at home.
He's at home, yeah. And, I think also, you said everybody but the Cleveland Browns. So only the Cleveland Browns would trade away from taking a generational player. So
for real,
great. Because, as a Steelers fan, I definitely don't want to play Travis Hunter twice a year. So cool. Yeah. Thank you, Cleveland, for being Cleveland. And if you're a Cleveland Brown fan, number one, I'm sorry. Number two, what are you thinking? And number three, they did it again. So,
and I like, honestly, Shamar Stewart, the defense.
This is where I was going to go. So Shamar Stewart from Texas A&M, edge rusher, defensive line. Look, when you get off the bus on Friday night, or Sunday or Saturday, that's the guy you want stepping out of that bus first. He's just, a Greek god.
Is it the 1.5 sacks?
4.5 sacks in his career at Texas A&M. So what is not, sometimes like you could just like fall backwards and by accident get more than 4.5 sacks in 3 years. So to me, the production's not there. The looks are there. The production's not there. So I do wish the kid well, but a very Cincinnati Bengal pick.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, it's perfect for Joe Burrow.
Yeah. It's just like, okay, you need to load up on defense because your defense is atrocious. Trey Hendrickson he's going to be a holdout because they haven't signed him to a new contract. Do they trade him? I don't know. But there's other guys available that would give you maybe a little bit more oomph.
James Pierce
from Tennessee. Although Atlanta trading back into the first round and trading a first round pick next year to get him, questionable move by the Falcons. But so I'm going to say Ohio. If you're a fan of a professional football team in Ohio, why? Sorry.
Hey, don't hate on Brigger.
And number 3. They did it again.
But I think, honestly, the steal of the draft is Malachi Starks, safety out of Georgia, going
the Ravens
to the Baltimore
always
Ravens.
Pick. Malachi Starks is irritating. It's irritating. Steelers pick a Steelers guy. Ravens pick a Ravens guy. That's what you can count on in the AFC North. And
the Browns ran away from all the players.
And the Browns and Bengals do what they do.
Yep.
So that's fine. It's there's a secret club. It's called the AFC North. There's 4 teams. And then there's the exclusive men's executive section. Only the Ravens and Steelers sit in there, and they sit there and they laugh and they laugh and they laugh about the Browns and the Bengals. It's just kind of funny. But yeah, Malachi Starks, I thought a good pick. Jihad Campbell, the linebacker from Georgia, going 31 to Philadelphia. Great. Sorry, Alabama, not Georgia. Great pick by the Eagles. I thought that was a really good pick too.
And then lastly, for my Freak Out Friday is this is a basketball one. Last time we got the NBA playoffs happening right now, and Oklahoma City, they were down by 29 points. They were actually down by 26 at halftime.
Yeah.
And
great time to bet on them.
Ja Morant goes out with an injury, and Oklahoma City comes back and wins that game. The largest comeback in NBA postseason history.
Bring out the broom.
Incredible, man.
Yeah.
OKC, really good team, very scary. I would not want to play them in the postseason. So that's my Freak Out Friday, some NFL draft stuff, and also what Oklahoma City did last night.
Yeah, I'm going to save mine for 8 o'clock, but one thing I'm going to say is when you have a parlay of Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, 31.5 points, and a combo points, rebounds, and assists of 48.5 for Nikolai Jokic. And when Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, SGA, goes for 31 and you miss by half, and then Jokic goes for a combined 48 and you miss by half, that sucked. That sucked last night.
Also,
and he got taken out of the game because they were getting their butts kicked like with 6 minutes to go. Just one more rebound, dude. Yeah. Come on, Jokic. One more rebound.
And speaking of NBA playoffs, I mean, Jimmy Butler took a really hard fall, but to see, I had a chuckle when I saw the injury report. He's out with a contusion in his glutes. So I'm like, damn, he pulled a butt cheek.
Well, the contusion is a bruise.
Or bruise.
He's got a bruised butt.
He's got a bruised butt.
And,
I mean, it was a really hard fall. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, but
they were like, there was no like bone damage, just kind of more, just more in the muscle. I'm like, damn.
It's like I can see the conversation now. It's like Steve Kerr and Jimmy Butler's.
How's your ass?
Can you play? Can you go tonight? Why aren't you playing? My butt, coach.
My ass.
My butt is bruised. It's bruised to the point where I can't move. I got a bruised butt.
I'm just thinking of that scene from Tropic Thunder when it's all slow motion and it pans over to Jack Black and he's just like, my ass.
Yeah.
Also, before we go to commercial break and talk more about the NFL draft and T-Mac going to the Panthers, Cam Ward, he started his college career at Incarnate Word in San Antonio, which is an FCS school. And Cam Ward is the first #1 pick to begin his career at an FCS school since Ed Too Tall Jones was taken first at a Tennessee State in 1974.
Too Tall Jones, man. Yeah. He was good. Old
he
school
was
Cowboys.
Tall.
Yeah. Played right next to Randy White and Hollywood Henderson, who said that Terry Bradshaw was so dumb he couldn't spell cat if you spotted him the C and the T.
Oh if I can add one really quick, just because I don't know if we're going to have time to talk about it today. Roadrunners came back against the Abbotsford Canucks last night.
Yes.
So they're 1-1 in a best-of-3 series.
And
Tomorrow
then
was the final game.
They got one more game tomorrow, and if the Roadrunners were to win, we're talking about playoff hockey in Tucson next week.
Yes, sir. Should be anyway.
Come on, let's go Roadrunners.
Light a candle, Andrew.
Yeah.
Manifest this stuff. Let's get it. Let's get it
I got
done.
My shirt on and everything.
Shout out to the Roadrunners, man.
What do? You got any rituals to help the Roadrunners?
I would like to be superstitious, but it doesn't seem like anything is ever consistent in hockey. So not really.
So your inconsistency is your consistency,
I guess.
Yes.
The only thing I've ever seen that works is that apparently wearing my Knights jersey doesn't help the Knights in the playoffs. So I got to leave that on the couch. They've been getting absolutely mangled by the Minnesota Wild the last couple games,
man,
which I'm also upset about.
What's that series at right now?
2-1 Minnesota. And we're in St. Paul.
Whatever you did for the one, do it again.
I don't know what I did for the one. I don't know.
Backtrack it, man.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
Yeah.
Happy Friday, everyone. You're listening to Spears and Ali on ESPN Tucson, 1490 AM, and the Spears and Ali podcast. Please check us out on Apple and Spotify. Give us a 5-star rating. Do your thing. And then also, please subscribe to the Spears and Ali YouTube channel. We're putting out some great content there. You could see our interview with Arizona men's basketball head coach Tommy Lloyd and Midland lead singer Mark Weisstrack. We had a great conversation yesterday or a couple days ago. And one of my all-time favorite interviews that we've done here on Spears and Ali. It might actually be at the top.
That was fun, man. We get a lot of really great guests. You do a really good job, Justin, of bringing on a lot of really cool people, a lot of coaches from the University of Arizona. And so it's a high bar. But yeah, Wednesday was pretty awesome. And speaking of that respect that I have for you, you know, my dad has told me before, he listens to the show, he's like, you got to be nicer to your buddy there, your partner. And I'm like, which one, Andrew or Justin? Because I've been working on Andrew, and like, we want me to do two at the same time. But and I've been thinking about it. You know, I rib you every once in a while, and I was like, you know, make an easy punchline, and I'm like, maybe I just need to ratchet it back. And then I went to the Blue Blazer party last night. You know, all the volunteers for the Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl is kind of a thank you party at the Stillwell House. They do a great job. Well done, Monica. And I meet a woman named Paloma. And Paloma used to be the academic advisor for Justin. So you can understand how hard that job was. And she said, hey, I just want to introduce myself. I'm Paloma, and I used to be the academic advisor for Justin. And please keep giving him a lot of crap. Because it's my favorite part of the show. And I'm like, do tell. And she says, yeah, I mean, he needs it. He needs his ego in check. He does a lot of really adolescent, stupid things. I'm like, did you know? So his Freak Out Friday was about Crocs and Ashton Jeanty wearing Crocs to the NFL draft. She's like, I'm like, did you know that he would wear Crocs every day to the station? She said, no, he did not.
Not every
He's
day.
like, I just don't know. This kid needs to grow up. And I'm like, I know, I'm trying to up his game and his dress and a lot of things. And she's like, well, I just need you to continue to hammer him over and over and over again until he gets straight. It may take years. It may take years off your life like it did mine, being his academic advisor. But maybe, just maybe, we could finally get through to this knucklehead about being a grown-up. So, Paloma, for you, I will do that. I will take on that task, and I will continue to ridicule Justin for 2 hours every day on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, sometimes Tuesdays and Thursdays.
And Paloma, it's not every day that I wore Crocs.
Yeah, it wasn't every day.
Just
it was
Tuesdays
like
and Thursdays.
3 or 4 days a week, and
Yeah.
then Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, Ollie's not in today? Yeah, it's a Croc day.
Yeah.
But you know what's funny is
Paisley Crocs, no less.
Paisley Crocs. I call them my thug Crocs. And you know what? The best part about me wearing Crocs, the last time that I wore Crocs when you weren't here, Ollie,
Yeah.
I wore them, and all of a sudden a door opens up and a head pokes in, and it's the guys from over across the way at 94.9 Mix FM, and they saw my Crocs. And they just started like bullying me.
Yeah. Right. And it doesn't make it any better that you call them your thug Crocs or you paint them blue and do the Croc walk. Yeah, that doesn't. That's not
Croc walk.
It's not you're not a thug, dude.
The Croc walk,
the
baby.
Croc walk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what's so great is
Dude, all 4 stations coming together to ridicule you.
and that's the thing that like was so fascinating about that whole event. And I promise we're going to get to the NFL draft here in just a little bit, but let me digress here for just a quick second.
We're talking draft.
Listen, in our media morning cluster here at Arizona Lotus, let's just say there are 2 gentlemen that don't really vibe with each other. They used to work with each other, and now they're just kind of, I don't know,
Just coworkers.
Coworkers, right? They don't really, vibe with each other, but if they see each other in the hallway, they'll give each other respect, nod, and keep walking. And all of a sudden, I mean, it was like something out of a sitcom. One guy comes in, is like, "Oh my God, you're wearing Crocs? Hey, come check this out. Look what he's wearing." And I'm like waiting for the person to come into the studio, and it's the guy that he doesn't really like. And they both like
They came together like the Crips.
it was like the Crips and the Bloods. Speaking of thugs, like the Croc walk, it was the Crips and the Bloods coming together to scold me for wearing Crocs. And I was like, you know what? I'm very happy that my fashion choices can provide some unity here at Arizona Lotus.
Yeah, and then just to put a the topper on it is that they started making fun of you in Spanish in La Caliente. Too, Malo, Zapados malo,
like-
just Houston.
It's like,
¿Qué pasó?
Yeah.
it's like for some reason they call me a payoso.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Clown.
Yeah,
Clown in
payoso,
Espanol.
yeah.
Como se dice clown in Espanol? Payoso.
I got one. So yeah, and you just like everything you just said just made my point. So Paloma, there you go. We're working on Justin, and I will continue giving him guff.
Nothing. Go.
I also want to congratulate the local community, and I want to put a shout out to Jason Shear, Mike Luke, Jason's wife Shelby, Erica Day, and a lot of other people, Julie, a lot of people on X, because speaking of bonding, we came together as a community and we unleashed a torrid avalanche of education for Todd McShay. Touche,
yeah.
about calling Tetaroa McMillan T-Mac. You can say Emeka Mbuka, but you can't say Tetaroa. It doesn't make any sense. So I watched Todd McShay's live stream.
It's a fair point,
right?
man. Can't say Tetaroa, but Emeka Mbuka.
You're not calling him M, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, and then I thought it was really clever. I'm like, we're gonna call you two. I'm like, well, Justin, why don't we just call him Touche? Because it's McShay, Touche. On his live stream prior to the draft, I tuned in because I'm a subscriber. Guess who's calling T-Mac Tetaroa now? No Tets. All Tetaroa.
Yes.
He won't say it out loud. That like I heard you loud and clear, but you know what, man? Sometimes you just gotta give like tip of the cap. Todd McShay, way to listen to the people.
Yes.
And people, way to make your point.
We did it, guys.
We did it. Victory.
We did
Victory is ours. Todd McShay calling T-Mac Tetaroa, not Tet. I felt vindicated. I feel good. I feel like I'm living a pure and clean life, unlike you, Justin. And winning feels good. So Tetaroa, no more Tet. Todd McShay, tip of the cap, man. Way to listen to the people.
Now we just got to tell everyone else on the East Coast,
including the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah.
Well, he's on my list.
General manager.
He's on my list.
Dan Morgan.
Tetaroa, the interview before the draft started, is just the lady asked him, people calling you Tet, is that a thing? He's like, no, that's not my name. It's Tetaroa or T-Mac.
Not really sure where Tet came from.
Not sure where Tet came from.
Said exactly those words.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
So anyway, I feel great about it.
Good job, everybody.
Yeah.
I feel great for Paloma.
Yeah, Paloma. Paloma. It's a punching bag I'm going to continue to rap on for years to come.
Come on, Paloma.
I don't even know
what I do.
Yeah.
If there's not even a show, the Spears and Ollie goes away, I'm just going to make videos and I'm going to send it to Justin about the shorts you're wearing. Like, what are you doing, dude? Like, they're
gonna be completely unprovoked too.
You're going to interview the head football coach at Arizona. Wear a collared shirt, maybe. It's okay. Pants are okay every once in a while. It's okay to wear pants.
It's hot, man. It's hot. If you see me in pants that's not joggers, you know it's a big event.
Joggers are not pants, dude. So, like, again,
the biggest trick sweatpants ever pulled.
Yes. It's just for the job you want, baby, not the one you have. Don't be Steve Smith. You're Steve
I'm not wearing a flat billed hat though.
You're Steve Smith in it, dude. Except you got the Rupert the Reporter propeller hat.
Yeah.
All right, let's take some phone calls real quick. 719-1490. What do you think about T-Mac going to the Carolina Panthers? What do you think about last night's first round of the NFL draft? 719-1490. That's our studio line. All right, we got Viking Tony joining the show. What's up, man?
Last night, the Vikings just said, F you to the NFL. They have probably the top, with that draft pick of that interior lineman last night from Ohio State, on paper, the Vikings look like top 5, top 3 offensive line, in my humble opinion. But that's not what I'm calling about. I'm calling about, now in Arizona history, you guys would know this better than I. So is T-Mac the highest U of A player ever drafted? Is that correct?
No, that title is currently owned by the great Ricky Hunley, who was drafted 7th overall by the Cincinnati Bengals in 1984. But T-Mac is the highest drafted offensive player in U of A history.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. And we got to give all the credit to Jed Fish, right? Okay. So
he was wearing purple,
now,
so clearly he made it all about, it was about Washington.
Paid homage to Jed and the Huskies.
Yeah.
It's about the dead fish there. Okay. Yeah. So now I think the greatest U of A player career-wise has to be Gronkowski.
Oh yeah.
And the greatest one season has to be Nick Foles, I think.
Super
So you
Bowl
had
MVP.
to do categories like that.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, Viking Tony. There's a lot of talk about the quarterback, especially this draft, Shedeur Sanders. Is it harder to be a quarterback in the NFL, especially as a rookie, or the academic advisor for Justin Spears?
Oh, that's a tough call. And I think he's got that Croc look. He took that Sicario movie and that character that Bolin plays, the CIA agent. I think he's trying to mimic that kind of look right there, that feel.
Right.
Ooh,
I think the problem with Justin
scary,
is he just misinterpreted a movie he was watching, and he thought Jackass the movie was like a life guide. And he's just like, oh, so this is the way I'm supposed to be. And it's like, no, buddy, it's a parody. It's a show. It's a comedy show. That's not the way to pattern your life. So he's living a Jackass the movie life right now.
I love Justin. I just don't know what his Chargers are doing. What is Chargers? Oh, they took that running back. That's great. Yeah. And El Presidente Capitan, what are your Steelers doing at quarterback? Talking about quarterbacks. What are they going to do?
What do you get when you cross an elephant with a rhinoceros, brother? Elephino. I mean, I think Aaron Rodgers gave him a commitment. And the quarterbacks, it would have been a reach. Shedeur Sanders would have been a reach. Jackson Dart would have been a reach. Jalen Milroe would have been a reach. They got the Steelers pick. They got an interior defensive lineman to bolster that side of the ball. So I'm very happy with Derek Harmon. It looks like he's got a bunch of potential. Seems like a great kid. And we'll see, man. Maybe a quarterback in the third round. Look for Will Howard at Ohio State. I have a feeling.
Yeah, I think they got to stop being Rodgers' little, so they got to break loose of that. They're too great of a franchise to be under Rodgers' thumb there. It's time. It's time to go on. Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you for a great show. Love it.
Thank you.
You're the best.
Vikings!
You're the best.
Thank you, Viking Tony.
VT, Viking Tony.
Viking Tony, man.
And then I also like it when he comes with his softer side, Rosemary Tony.
Oh man, the great R&B singer, Rosemary Tony.
He's put on a scented candle, maybe a bottle of wine, baby making time.
Another thing that I wanted to kind of address regarding T-Mac,
we've lost the plot,
is I wanted to just point out how cool it was that, with his family in attendance, we talked about the purple suit and how he quote unquote paid homage to Jed Fish by wearing purple. He said purple's his favorite color. It's also the color of royalty. And that's why he wore it. He's like, I don't have a lapel, but I got the black turtleneck, got the custom Nalo chain. T-Mac was certainly feeling himself and feeling the outfit. But
yeah, King Trolley wore it in Mr. Rogers. It was all purple. Right.
He said he kind of had like a Joker look.
Yeah.
It was a cool look for T-Mac. But I also thought it was really cool that he wore the lei.
Yeah.
And not only did he wear the lei, but he came out on stage and put the lei around Roger Goodell's neck.
Yeah. How cool is that?
I've never seen that before.
No.
And I think maybe T-Mac could set a trend. If a Polynesian player is drafted, comes out, lays Roger Goodell. And as soon as the lei was around Roger Goodell's neck, I was like, there's an Arizona football fan somewhere that's going to bitch about Roger Goodell wearing the lei.
Yeah.
He should be wearing the lei on stage.
That guy gets booed the entire first round of the draft, and he's got a big smile on his face. I'm going to tell you exactly what he's thinking. I make $40 million a year. Boo away. You actually
on the bicycle.
Yeah, you're paying my salary, and it's $40 million.
Yeah.
So boo.
and he leans into it too. Like, heck, even before I think it was the second pick, like he came out on stage, was like, "Come on!"
Yeah,
it's like hyping him up a little bit
more. And I like the beginning of the draft because they had the Green Bay Packer guy and some former Green Bay Packers, and they like basically welcoming everybody to the draft. And he ended it with, "And the Bears still suck," and the crowd went crazy. Wait for Pittsburgh next year, Browns fans. It's coming, baby.
All right, let's take one more phone call before we go to commercial break and continue this conversation about Tetairoa McMillan going to the Carolina Panthers last night. We got Eddie joining the show this morning. What's on your mind, Eddie?
What's going on, guys? Good morning, Ali. Good morning, Justin, Andrew. Hey, I got a few things for you guys. One, I love you guys on YouTube. I get to see you guys' faces now. I get to see how great Andrew's beard is, better than mine
Thanks, man.
was.
It's great, man.
All right. It's amazing. Another thing, Ali, I will say this. Crocs are comfortable in a certain, I mean, okay, they're comfortable. They're good for certain settings, okay? They're comfortable when you're on your feet all day at work, okay?
Yes.
Yes,
but you're not wearing them at work, right, Eddie? You're wearing
while
them
you're at work.
I have to wear I got to wear steel-toe boots,
Yeah.
right?
Because you're an adult.
But after a long, Justin, I got you though. The Crocs. One more thing. One more thing, you guys. Hey, I love the show. I love what you guys do, you know, and the community. Will you guys all be there tomorrow at the Centurions? I got tickets thanks to you guys. Will you guys be there?
Ooh. You know what? I might actually make an appearance. I do. I'm on NFL draft duties, but what time's the Centurions party?
It goes from like 7 o'clock till whenever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I should be there.
I should be with my dad, actually.
Right on. Hey, again, you guys, thank you so much. I'll see you guys soon. Appreciate you guys.
Yeah,
Eddie,
thank you.
Congrats, Team Mac. Bear down.
Hell yeah, Eddie, you're the man. Thank you for the kind words, brother. Have a good weekend.
Now Eddie sees the video. People see the video. They know why I call you a Sasquatch, Andrew.
Yeah.
It all totally makes. It's all coming together.
Yeah.
And why I ridicule the way Justin dresses is all coming together, right?
Andrew does have an amazing beard.
He does.
Iconic, man.
Yeah.
Iconic.
And he takes care of it too. Lots of liniments and oils.
Lots of oils.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you have like a nightly routine?
I have a morning routine.
A morning routine?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just oils, balms.
Okay.
Yeah. Got to take care of it, man.
Usually when
It's luscious.
Usually when you're doing anything and oils and balms are involved, it's probably a good thing.
Yeah.
Right. It's usually like
100%.
something joyous happens around that.
I make love to my beard every morning.
You do. You do. And it shows.
Thank you.
It shows.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's a glow.
But Eddie said in certain settings. Gray Wolf Lodge, by a pool, lounging at your house.
ESPN Tucson.
No. Press conference for Brent Brennan. No.
No, I have not worn Crocs to a Brent Brennan press conference. Ever.
Jetfish?
Ever. When I'm like at a press conference, shoes.
Yeah.
Shoes.
Just those jelly sandals.
Shoes and shorts that go to your knees and a t-shirt.
I might wear, shorts and a shirt, but like always shoes whenever I'm in that setting.
I think it just all comes back to this, Justin. You need to get out of your head that you're a 90s rapper. You're not. Okay?
Come on,
yeah,
man.
You're not living that croc life.
Crocs.